Hi there, and welcome to the Anxiety Society podcast, brought to you by Jordan Devlin and Scott Hope. This is a show where you can listen to people talk about their life experiences in relation to mental health. Visit Jordan's Anxiety Society on Facebook for updates on how you can get involved in future podcasts. But for now, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Right, so this is episode 8 of the Anxiety Society podcast. Today I'm joined by Scotty Hope,
as always.
As always, and Stevie Harris, known as Harris, known as Susan, known as...
Call me anything you want, man. Mr. Goliath.
Aye, Mr. Goliath, fucking indeed. I've known Stevie for
a lot of years.
A long time.
Both when our faces fitted into her.
Exactly, I know it. Aye. And
we didn't have 3 chins each.
Fucking hell, I know. Especially this fucking lockdown, man, I've chucked it. But Stevie... Oh no, I don't want to talk... I will talk about my morning later. But Stevie owns and runs Goliath MMA. So you were like one of the first folk when we thought about starting this. I was like, Stevie's coming on. Like this, I think... although we try and get folk on to talk about their experiences with like their own mental health and folk that have struggled in that, we also wanted to get on people that have maybe took the plunge and started their own business or something like that. Aye. So obviously with your fucking starting your gym, it's one of the hardest things today is fucking start your own business. Obviously you'll be able to fucking tell us about that. So thanks for coming on, mate. Appreciate it.
I know what you mean. It's so the background, basically, we trained together with a name we'll no mention.
We'll not go into aye.
We'll call him Ball Prick.
I think anybody...
Shite down a light.
Aye, exactly.
So we trained together for years. That gym then folded. I kind of took the plunge and done a little bit of PT, and also took a studio, a friend of mine's wife's studio, and there was about 4 or 5 hours that would maybe go on a couple of hours a week, do a bit of pads, a wee bit of moving about and that. And then it just escalated. But at that time, I was just starting uni, just about to be a dad. Talk about stress and pressure. Wow.
Fucking hell.
And I don't know. It just kind of happened. It was something I never really pushed, but it just kind of happened. You know. At the time, I think the timing was impeccable. I think that people then followed me and obviously seen me as a coach and a training partner, and it just kind of happened there. It's mad, even
it is.
To think of the gym that's there now.
Aye, exactly.
Like mental, from a wee shitey school hall to
what,
the biggest MMA facility in Scotland now. I do believe it's. I think it's pretty much up there.
It's just the photos that you put up today. I was like,
goosebumps.
It's mental. Especially with the new ring and that,
and
it's
big bad boy cage. You see me hoovering it today.
Aye.
Like you said, nobody ever. I'm waiting to hoover my cage.
It's fucking. It doesn't even seem real. Like the first time I came in, obviously, because I moved away, so we sort of went separate ways after that gym folded. I moved away up to Aberdeen, and I've been lucky enough to train at a good few gyms, just because of my job. I travel about a bit, and all the gyms that I've been lucky enough that all the gyms I've been to have been fucking brilliant. They've been really good. And then walking into your one, I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be.
That's what I wanted. I've always wanted that sort of that wow factor. Like, I'm not the most experienced guy in the world, but I've always wanted that sort of wow factor. Even my older gym, it was just 2 tiny little units, but I wanted to have that sort of old rusticy feel to it. And then when we got the new gym, I just wanted it to really stand out. I didn't want folk to want for anything else. Again, my guys will tell you as well that I'm always been upgrading. I barely made a penny out of this, if I'm honest. If it was to do with money, I'm in the wrong place. Every month the money comes in. As you see, you come into the gym, there's always something new, always upgrading. But it's a great position to be in because I get to do something I love, and it's no money comes and goes, but
it's the difference if you're passionate about something, though. You look at these folk that start businesses and all they're interested in is cash. Whereas if you're passionate about something, you're willing to reinvest in your business.
100%, mate. Every month, mate.
Everybody will think you're a much better person for it.
I mean, every month, and again, it's that thing as well. I mean, you get too wound up in cash. That's where talking about sort of anxiety and stress and everything. I think you get too much wound up in money. That's where the stresses start to come. I think if you really invest in your your business and you're selling your plans going forward, there isn't any stress. It's, for me, this isn't even a job. It's mad. Like, I'm in that gym all the time just because I can, because I want to be. You know what I mean? Aye, just, I mean, that's it. It's tailored to how I want it to be, and I don't. It's not a stressful job, like I was saying earlier. Had a couple of niggling headaches this week, and I phoned up the doctors, and I think I've been a doctor for about 12 years. Phoned up and the nurse was going, have you done all the relevant checks? You drank water for your headache? You done this? I'm going, aye, of course I have. I've not just been batting my head off a wall either. But I mean, even that, and folk are saying, oh, you stressed? I'm going, what the fuck I'll be stressed about? You know, it's just good. I've really got sort of laser focus on a goal, and I've smashed that goal with the gym, then I've smashed another gym, then I've smashed another gym, and here we are. But I think coming back to the topic basically about being stressed and anxiety and depression and all that, I would recommend to anybody, if you've got something you're passionate about, fucking go for it. Go for it. There is no stresses in it. I mean, what's stressful about trying to do something you love? There's none. If I start moaning at folks saying, oh, I'm sick of this, I'm too busy at the gym, it's not what I'm in it for. You'll never hear that come out of my mouth. I'm stressed, I need a holiday because the gym's too busy. Nah, I never hear that come out of my mouth.
So hang out, some folk think it is like a chore. That's when they're in the wrong mindset.
100% mindset.
Like, then you go to the gym if you didn't want to.
Exactly.
It's the same with anything. If you're like, well, obviously the job's a bit different because you need to get cash at the end of the day, but it's the same if you're in a job that you hate, like, oh, fucking hell, I've got work.
There is things you can do about it.
Do something. Change it.
Change it, exactly. There is things you can do about it. I mean, I got a law degree, believe it or not. Believe it or not. I got a law degree, and I chose, I got to a crossroads where I thought, do I push the gym, do I have more time to see my daughter and do what I want to do, way less money, or do I sit miserable, turn into a fat crabby old grey haired man in a suit in an office, chucking case studies about in law or whatever. You know, I kind of got to that point. I thought, it's not about the money, it's about living. It's not about just working to live, it's about living. You get to a point, and I think now I've got to this point, I think, what a fucking decision I had to make, and it didn't get me wrong, it's been tough, really had to stick by it. You know, we've all had hard times, and pushing through, trying to upgrade the gym and make sure it's what everybody expects it to be, wants it to be. It's been stressful, but it's a good stress, if that makes sense. And I've created a good stress myself. But if you're constantly pushing for something you absolutely hate, there's no dead end to that stress, is there?
I know, my missus goes fucking nuts at me because I keep doing this, and I've been making the decision to, like, since I was maybe like 20 or something like that money wasn't important. Because I was in a job excuse me, that I fucking hated, and I was listening to a Joe Rogan Experience podcast, and he was going into it, just about like being stuck in a cubicle all day every day, working 9 till 5, just being so stressed. And I just went in the next day and I just quit. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I absolutely fucking despise this.
Did you have anything lined up when you quit?
Nah. Absolutely nothing. Bills to pay and that. And my work actually said to me, they were like, look, we get that you want to leave, but do you know what, I just wait out and we'll keep you on until you find someone else. And I was like, no, because I know in 3 years down the line I'll still be here. So I was like, no, clean cut, I'm gone. I don't think I lasted like a day and a half at Amazon or something like that. So I was like,
do you care what you do?
No, I'm not doing that.
Do you care what you do? I think it's just a human instinct. You adapt. Now, if you need a certain amount of money, obviously without robbing folk, but you need a certain amount of money and you leave your job, you adapt to that. You know, you kind of pull your finger out quicker. You find jobs quicker. I mean, see all these people who are saying, oh, there's no jobs about. I read something on Facebook the other day, and it was somebody's mum had been made redundant. If they're listening, I've got no idea who they are, right? I've seen that their mum had been made redundant in her later years. I think it was a retirement job, 60-year-old, made redundant, and it was basically just a job to tick her over. Got made redundant, applied for Debenhams, found a job within a week, 2 interviews, got 2 jobs, had to choose. Now you see all these younger people where they didn't really want it because they didn't care where they want to go. You know, they didn't really want to find a job. They want to just lie in their bed in their mum's house, sort of thing. Exactly. It's easy way. But if you really hate what you're doing, and you adapt, you quit that, you adapt, you move on, and you done it rapid. I mean,
well, that's the thing. Well, I did do it, and I didn't do it. So I've ended up in a place now where the work-life balance isn't quite there, or nowhere I want it to be. And I thought, like, I've done a couple of jobs in between that, and I've always tried to make improvements on the work-life balance sort of thing, and I keep kind of failing at it, and it pisses me off that I keep, because I go into a new job and go, right, this is going to be the one where I look at the roster or whatever that I'm going to be working, and I'm going, I've got this time here. I was like, this is going to work out, and then stuff happens and I can't, then it's difficult to adjust. So I'm at a point now where
part of growing up as well,
that's it, mate.
If things get put in front of you, you either jump it, walk round it, build it. You got to adapt to it, innit? It's like anything. It's like yourself, jiu-jitsu. You get choked out all week, you come in next week and say, fuck that, I'm not getting choked out this week. So you make the adjustments. You know, it's like anything. Life's not easy. As simple as that, it's not easy. You know, everybody's stressed out to a certain point, but again, it's having to find that answer. And I think going by why I'm here, having a gym, I really do strongly believe in exercise. It's not the answer to everything. Of course, it's not. I mean, there is no answer for mental health or stress. Well, there is an answer, but only you know. Nobody else knows. You know, everybody's got to have that thing. Like you're saying, that work-life balance. You've got to have that time out to work. No sort of live to work. Work to live. You can work to be able to do things, but you've got to have that out, regardless of what job you're in. I mean, even myself. I mean, I'm in an environment that I absolutely love. That's a community centre in that gym now. Well, no, they're now. It's fucking empty.
It's empty.
It's like a community centre in there. It's great. All the guys. I mean, there's guys for all walks of life. I mean, there's fucking policemen, criminals, idiots, teachers, muppets. You know, like there's every type of person in that gym, and they all love each other. Everybody gets on. As you know, it's a great community you walk in, and it is genuinely like a community club, It's not just a place to go and train. I mean, the boys hang about for hours after it, just talking shit.
I genuinely can't, like, if for anybody that listens to this and hasn't been, you just need to go when it opens back up, because it's exactly like he's explaining. Like, I've never felt so welcomed coming into a gym, and that's not just because I knew you. Like, welcomed by everybody that's there.
It's good. I strive on that. That's one thing I really push in that gym is, because I mean, I've been in hundreds of gyms over the years, and I mean, you walk in some gyms and the chests are pumped out, and the guy's eyeballing you, looking you up and down, and you know instantly when you walk in a gym, it's that.
You go fucking
shit. This is going to be a hard hour. You know, pure like anxiety hitting the roof. Like, what's he looking at? What's he eyeing me up and doing? You know, sort of thing. Nothing like that in Goliath, and that's the atmosphere that I've said for the start. I want to kind of create. I mean, there's so many different types of people in there that are all punching each other in the head, and then after it, you know, sitting talking about life. And it's brilliant. Really, it's good. It's good for me to kind of. Sometimes I don't know what I've got, you know, until I can reflect back on things like this, or talking with people. But that's one thing I'm massively proud of the place is that. I mean, even if you look at some of the young lads to the old lads. I mean, look at this. We're talking earlier about how inspirational Jim is in the gym. In Jim 64, guy's an absolute legend. He cannot help anybody enough, and guys look up to him because he's probably the fittest guy in the gym. At 64, you know, guys are quitting round him. And I'm saying, have a look over here, this guy's in bits every day of his life. Whole body aching after a 3-hour session, 4 or 5 nights a week. I mean, me and Jim train on a Friday, we're doing kickboxing, we're rolling about, we're doing weights. And Jim's he's just the happiest man to leave the gym, you know, after all that. It's amazing. But the different types of people in there that really are affected by the sort of community in a positive way is phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
I think one part, and I hope this doesn't get taken the wrong way when I say it out loud, but the female aspect to it is, and that's not for my personal pleasure obviously, but like, I've never seen a gym where there's so many females in that environment. Females,
especially in MMA. So what I've done to start with is I kind of thought, right now, I'm probably the least experienced coach around about Fife at this point. You've got various other gyms, boxing gyms, this and that, and I'm thinking, right, outside the box, what is gyms lacking? And I thought, a good female community. Because women usually do fitness classes, pump in the gym or spin classes or whatever. Now, the 3 or 4 lasses we did have at the time, they can't tell me enough how much striking and battering pads and de-stressing that way really does help them. The confidence, the self-defence. I mean, as well as girls feel like outsiders walking in a gym. Not a Goliath, because I kind of came up with this thing about doing beginners programs for
me.
No, the lasses one. Beginners programs, and it was mostly to do with getting the basic skills to not feel out of place within certain classes. And I thought, boom, the girls. So I actually came around. I'd done a kind of basic pads workshop for. I was a couple of places, and it was sort of female orientated. And then they were saying, "Oh, what classes you have for girls?" And I'm going, shit. didn't really have any girls' classes. Because obviously girls do what train with men, and especially in an environment where it's
like that, when it's like a contact sport.
But now we do a pad session on Thursday night, mate, and as you've seen, there's 20-30 lasses in that who have integrated from the ladies only stuff. They want more. They can't get enough of the pad classes, and they literally didn't give a fuck. Because the guys they've soon figured out that we're there as guys to do the same. Butter pads, get better, stay healthy, de-stress, and as you know, a good heavy pads class that I do, you sleep like a baby. That
you do, definitely.
It really is one of the best medicines out there, I think, for many things. Again, like I say, it's not the answer, but it's definitely a contributing factor to well-being and sound mind, I think. But these girls are coming in and they're feeling better, they're going about their days better, some of their bodies are changing. I mean, there's some of the girls in there who have lost, I mean, some of them have been there with me for 3-4 years now, but some of them in the last year before lockdown there, I mean, I think there was 1 or 2, there was somebody lost 3 stone, somebody lost 4 or 5. Even the girls who were pretty generally fit, athletic, are still toning down, and you see like their arms and their shoulders, and they're just all commenting on how much they love their training, how happy they are in their general life, and things like some girls coming back for having kids and really toning up. I mean, as you know, it's an all body workout, but the big thing for me is when they're finishing their training, they're going about their day-to-day life, how much happier they are in their jobs. And you know, and I always use the reference. When we do our kids classes, there's 3 or 4 cases that I've had in the gym where these young lads have been bullied, or they've been kind of laughed at, like being called fat or chubby, or you know what, kids are fucking horrible.
Fucking ruthless,
kids can be horrible, ruthless and cold. So there's one in particular that comes to mind, no mentioning any names, but he's in fact he's actually one of my fighters now. So we trained, you'll know him. He trained at the old gym. Nearly said his name there. Trained at the old gym, and he was just a wee chubby kid back then, and he was getting thrown about at high school by all these older kids, and he chipped away training a year, 2 years, had a few fights with me. He's probably still one of the only unbeaten fighters in the gym, and he's only 15, 16 now, but he's thriving at school. He stood up to one of these bullies once. They have like wrestling competitions outside the back of the school, and this big fucker, as he said, right, said he just swings me about, so he's not a wee bit of grappling, ankle picked him, put him right in his arse, and that was it. The rest of the guy was like, ooh, done it again, put him down again. Now the kid's no scared to go to school, he's not uncomfortable at school. I'm sure he's a straight A student now. He's talking about going to uni to do sports and nutrition, and that's within 3 years. He didn't want to go to school because he was intimidating, because he was scared in case all this stuff kicked off. You know, within 3 years, he's basically turned that round by standing up to the bully, and then smashing school, enjoying school, thriving off his exam results, straight A student. He's now got the pick of the unis, and he wants to do something that's now revolving around the gym. So he wants to do sports science or. God knows.
So how does that make you feel, Ken, that you've potentially changed somebody's life for the better?
Oh, that's class. That's exactly what I'm in it for, I mean, honestly, I tell the story a lot, I mean, especially this one kid. He's an absolute gentleman. Like, we'll discuss him after. You'll know exactly what I mean when I tell you, but he's just a grafting kid. He comes from a good family, got lots of support behind him. He's been through. He lost a parent, been through a lot as a young kid. And he's just an absolute gentleman. I really, honestly, I can't commend him high enough. I'm actually considering potentially putting him in soon in his first MMA fight. He's unbeaten me kickboxing wise, but he's just, when he trains, he gives everything. He doesn't greet, he doesn't moan. He just comes in, he grasps. But I mean, that's giving him life skills to go forward into, you know, the discipline for everyday life. You're saying about yourself. You know, you probably wouldn't have stuck with your job right now if you didn't have the discipline through martial arts.
No,
it gives you a different mindset.
It does.
It's so easy to give up on everything. But martial arts teaches you not to give up, to find a solution. So this is what I think Muir. That's what I think the young kids. He's just going to be a phenomenal young guy growing up. And didn't get me wrong, I'm bigging him up. There's 4 or 5 of them in there that are really impressive around how they've turned their shit around. I mean, there's 3 or 4 who are local, who in the local area is a bit rougher for some of the other kids, and they used to fight each other. Now they're teammates. They'd look after each other in the streets and stuff. Some of the younger kids, some of the 12-year-olds. I had an incident where they were ripping the piss at each other on Snapchat and this and that, and the mums were falling out. And now these 2 kids that I've got in my head particular they're looking after each other in the streets, and they stick up for each other. You know, they're calling on each other, playing football, and it's through the gym. And none of the other kids are messing with them, and it's a rough area for them, you know, it's a really rough area. So, I mean, there's loads of different success stories. I mean, especially going back to the girls. I mean, all the stuff that's been going on recently with, to be honest, I didn't look too much into it, but the thing about walking home and all that. I don't know too much about it, but I know that it's obviously it's rubbed up a lot of women the wrong way. There was a lot of social media about it recently.
I discussed it with, what was it, Stuart, the guest. It was the last boy that was on it. But it's just, I deleted Twitter and that, I can't be doing with it, it's all the fucking bollocks. You see everybody arguing with everybody on it, but I seen a lot of, there's a lot of stuff on at that time about that particular story, and I just think to myself, like, I would not have an issue with 90% of the girls in the gym if anybody was to start their shit in them, especially in the town and stuff. Just the confidence in them to be able to just stand up, puff their chest out and no back down, because as you know, bullies want people to kind of back down, they want to intimidate, and then they feel bigger and stronger, they grow for that, seeing somebody. You'll probably have been in a situation yourself at some point in your life, maybe in the town or in a pub, or some big fuckers, what are you looking at, blah blah blah, and then as soon as you stand up to them, you just see them go, they come down to your size again. As soon as you show that you're not going to be a walkover, because bullies want to just beat up people who can't fight back or who can't answer back, and I think a lot of the girls in the gym as well, the sense of confidence they'll have through just the discipline of training, keeping themselves fit. I mean, and some of these girls, their techniques,
that's phenomenal.
It's really good. I mean, they don't. It's not like they didn't fit in, because they do. And I didn't give anybody any different training for anybody else. But the problem is, girls are girls. You'll not get many that'll fight. But see if I could, there's 3 or 4 in that gym. I would definitely like to push forward. But it's just, it is what it is. Their life's getting in the way.
I think, especially, like as you say, with everything that's came up recently, martial arts is fucking essential, especially like jiu-jitsu for that sort of situation.
It's an outlet for anger and rage and stuff as well for these guys.
Being able to defend yourself off your back is
every woman on the planet should know the basics.
And it doesn't take. I'm fucking jiu-jitsu master by any stretch, and I could teach a female to break somebody's arm fucking quite easily. It's not even that like, for somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, for a woman to have that knowledge off their back, and by drilling that a few times for a few weeks, 3 months of jiu-jitsu,
even at a girls' course,
you can defend yourself off your back by somebody that doesn't know what they're doing.
Even like somebody like a big guy grabbing them, or holding a top or something, or I mean, there's specific things I teach just off the cuff. I mean, things like, how many times you see women fighting and it's all hair grabbing?
A lot of it.
First thing you do, ankle pick them. They'll take your hand off their hair to break the fall. Boom, you're up, you're on top, you're facing the name and they're down. So, I show some of the lassies that, because 9 times out of 10, the lassies fight will just be all this grabbing here.
Even some boys.
Well, some boys in the gym. A few I could name, I better know. But I agree with you, Scott. I just think the discipline as well. I just think the discipline in martial arts, it's not just about the sport. I think it really changes your mindset for everything else out there. Not just fighting somebody else, but like approaching, I mean, problem solving. Again, your jiu-jitsu. I mean, there's probably been points in my jiu-jitsu journey where I was always about the level change in the takedown and get caught in guillotines. Honestly, Reese, remember when Reese kind of first he was floating about the gym and he was doing well with jiu-jitsu. I was just so easy to guillotine, and I've not exactly got a big neck either. I was fucking short, stocky, and it used to fucking frustrate the life out of me. And it gets to a point where you're like, I'm fucking sick of this now. And what you can do is you can fuck off and do another sport, or you can figure out the problem, and that's what jiu-jitsu gives you, that problem solving. And it's not just about the whole, like, I'll not get choked out again with this. It's about solving shit in real life as well. It's not just about the actual sport itself. But I just think it's like, here's an example that I tell a lot of parents. Right? Now, they maybe didn't like to hear this from me, because my football background was when I left school, I played with the Pars. I was there from I was 11 till I was 19. I played full time. I then fell in love with football. I started doing a bit of kickboxing. Fell in love with football. Went to Stad out in Magaluf. Never came here for 3 years. And that fucked up my football, right? As you can imagine.
Fucked up your reader now.
I wasn't used to partying and drinking. I had that discipline from football. But the difference is, the discipline from football and the discipline of martial arts. I used to walk about the training and I was Billy Big Balls. Because I was a footballer, nobody can touch me. I'm a fucking footballer. Giving it the big man. Now, in martial arts, I'm the opposite of that. I learned to fight, so I didn't have to be like that. Okay, and that arrogance thing, that arrogance of football, everybody goes, he's good at football, he's a prick. You know what I mean? And you could probably name people off the head right now in that town that you probably
Reece Parker for one.
I don't want to name any names. But do you know what I mean? Like, we can all name, even folk that maybe play for fucking Legelli. It's just, I feel personally, because I've been there for a lot of years, that football breeds an arrogance in young lads. It's a false sense of, like, a big man attitude. Whereas martial arts breeds little gentlemen, like level-headed people with life skills are ready to go out there and face all aspects and all problems. As a footballer, I was a dick, man, I was. You know, I was up the town drinking and thinking, by the way, I used to play with the players. I used to. Do you know what I mean? And that was still a fucking thing, you know, it's stupid. But it was just pure arrogance, and I didn't think martial arts gives you that, it takes arrogance out, you're humbled very quickly.
I think you're humbled very quickly because I think the quicker you get punched in the face, the better. It's the same way. As soon as you take a punch in the face, you realise, like, oh, I can't say that, or.
It's the same with the people were talking before this, before we started with this, right? No mentioning any names, which I'd like to. But these big man, like arseholes out in the streets who they've never been disciplined in their life with anything. Maybe go through their little trades, their trade, fucking apprenticeship, that's about it. Can count past 10. But these guys who are in pubs acting the big man after a few pints, and they're the ones that didn't get punched in the head. Nobody's doing them any favours, because getting punched in the head will change your life.
It does.
It will change your life, and you realise you're not untouchable, and you can't just go about talking to people like that. You know? And
even like in that martial arts environment, it's obviously the best place to do it.
Controlled.
And I can't. It sounds so ridiculous that you need to get punched in the head.
It sounds barbaric,
but you need to get punched in the head to realise that.
I've noticed that with you. Ken, when we've been
when you punched them in the head.
When we've been at certain points, like, I'll get aggravated with somebody and I'll be like, fuck this, I'm not just going to sit about, and you're like, go and just chill out, like, there's no point in it. And I'm just like, Scott, the boy's been an absolute prick, mate. And then I'll end up.
But Scott also knows. But Scott knows that he's the trained person there, and if you punch him in the head, he hits his head smack. You get the jail because he was a prick.
I'm also terrified by the folk that you see going into fucking gyms that you wouldn't think would be nails, or you wouldn't think would be able to choke you unconscious. You went to fucking black belts, you wouldn't realise they're kicking about there.
Mate, you look at my fight team.
Exactly.
They look like the Goonies.
It's also not completely killed my road rage, but I don't know who's sitting in that car. And I know a wee bit of jiu-jitsu, I know a wee bit of fucking kickboxing, a wee bit of MMA, but some of these boys, I'm cannon fodder.
Like what does an MMA fighter look like? What does a kickboxer look like? What's a jiu-jitsu fighter look like?
You see, like
you don't know.
No, you don't. It's that actually terrifies me.
What terrifies me is slapping somebody. Not even hard. They had a drink, they hit their head off the wall. Bam. I'm in the jail because he was on. That's what frightens me. I try and tell my fighters this. Recently there was one of my lads. He was out and about. I think he's 19, and he'll thank me for saying this, right? I had to chat with him last week. So he's out and his pals start talking to all these other local village hard men, and they get in confrontations. His pals step back because they're with the MMA fighter. He's then got to step forward. Do you know what I mean?
Nah.
So the pals talk a good game. So sometimes you got to think about.
They're not pals, are they?
But you got to think about who you're hanging about with. And if your pals are happy to throw you under the bus like that, they know your pals. That's things that are going to give you anxiety. That's things that are going to give you fucking mental issues. You're hanging about with people who think they're your pals, yet they're starting fights, stepping back because they're an MMA fighter. You've then got to step in. So this one particular incident, one of the lads a couple of weeks back, his pals started on lads. 3 lads he was left to fight. Bigger than him. Bar 2, the big guy clocked him for the back. Pot shotted him. Now how dangerous could that have been for him if he got pot shotted, fell, smashed his head, plummed head. Now also the other side of that, my point of view is, he's going to be fighting under me. If he's fighting in the streets, breaking his hands, he can't train. He can't train properly. You know, if he's getting silly injuries, if he's got black eye, he can't spar, he can't roll. I just think it's ridiculous. I mean, I've been in situations the same. Loudmouth mates of mine after a few beers thinking it's alright because of a few guys that can handle themselves, just to gob off to these big guys at the bar or whatever, and then they step back, right, what he's going to deal with, you know, sort of thing. I've been in that situation, but it's I think a lot of the young guys in the gym these days, in the gym, I think they really need to reassess, and it's hard saying to you, realising in your head that your best pal's a prick, you know, and they're getting in trouble. It's hard for a young guy to accept that, especially if you've grown up with them pretty much your whole life, but sometimes I think a lot of problems are caused by the friends of your so-called friends.
We had somebody on, he was actually on the second one, Jordan Crombie. He's a football agent and moved into Manchester, and he did the same. He was a wee bit older when he did it, but he was like, just to say to his pals that he grew up with, he was like, look boys, I love you and that, and cheers for bringing me up, but he's fucking killing me here. Like I can't deal with.
Aye, definitely.
Because I'm trying to do something bigger here, and yous are absolutely killing me. So
it's like an anchor.
Aye, like thank you and that, but
definitely, and that then plays on your own network. But I mean, I'm lucky. I've grown up with a decent group of mates around me. Don't get me wrong. There's a few toxic people recently, like we spoke about earlier, that have kind of sidestepped. I mean, I've had mates who are like, I remember you when you had fuck all when you were at college, or you were doing this, or you were working on a building site and doing that. I'm going.
But the fact that you're bringing that up, they're jealous that you're doing well for yourself. I'm
thinking, what's the point in this conversation apart from than trying to put me down and keep me? Therefore, do one.
Just get on the fuck.
That's it. That's it. You've got, and it's hard for me. Again, I'm no preacher of that, but I try and tell some of the young lads in the gym about this. Like, really, if they want to push forward, they got to get rid of the dead weights that only want to push forward in their lives. You know, the guys who are going on 2-3 day benders and who really didn't give a fuck about anybody else but themselves. You know, I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, you've got in the gym environment that sense of teamwork, that sense of like a brotherhood as well. I mean, there's so many different age ranges, different backgrounds in there. I mean, some of the young lads have really been going through a tough time recently. I mean, the young lads that didn't have bills to pay, didn't have mortgages, didn't have kids and that. Now, you can look at that and think, well, they've not got real problems, but mentally, these kids didn't get anything else. They still need help, So I've been trying to give them sort of outlets and workouts and kit and stuff like that and keep them active and try and keep them motivated, but it's just the times in it.
That's been, especially for folk that age, round about this time, it's been, what else did they do?
Ken going to his parties, what can they do?
It's a complete social aspect, like even going to school, like as much as a bear and you maybe hated going to school, the social aspect it was brilliant, because you got to see all your pals on a daily basis.
Definitely, and again,
that's been ripped away for them.
I'm trying my best to keep these guys going, but this is the problem we've got now. I mean, even with this COVID stuff, I mean, we're not the problem. Our gym's not the problem. We're not the answer, but we're not a problem. We're definitely on the more positive to negative side, 100%. And I just think the way the government, I mean, we could go on conspiracies all day, but just the way the government's went about all this stuff. I mean, what's more dangerous, going to Asda or getting yourself booked in a 6,500 square foot unit gym with maybe 3 other people in your own little individual area for an hour a day? What's more dangerous? I'd say going to fucking Asda. 100%. I mean, if the government allowed us to, so many people could have been out their holes and helped. I mean, I've got guys in the gym who are smashing cocaine every day. They're drinking every day. Even going to work half cut. Guys that are splitting up with their missus, not getting to see their kids, on furlough drinking, eating. I mean, an hour a day is enough to get them out of that routine. Just in the gym. Because we all know, we've all tried to train at home, it's not the same.
I
mean, you're at home, your home's your home.
It was fun the first time.
It was. We were saying this in the last one. It was fun.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't fun at all.
That first lockdown where it was exciting, like we said last time, we didn't know if it was going to be like a zombie apocalypse or.
Mate, I put my fucking assault bike out in my extension, right? I went on it 5 minutes. I about died. Cracked the beer up. That was it. That was the next 6 months. The bike sat there dusty, and I had all the bottles, kind of empty glass bottles sitting round it.
I said that about that fucking Peloton thing. I said I come on the telly and said to myself, I was like, how can folk do that? That is not my idea. That is not my idea of work. I know.
Like the boy goes up to the lassie and he's like, "Oh, well done." Like, fuck off. That's not what's happening there.
Cheesy American, do it. Make it look so good.
Fucking extortionate.
And you're there with your car park in your own house, your love handles flap about the back of you. Didn't look like that, eh? No, I give loads of kit out to folk in that, and it's the same thing. Guys are going, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. Never used it. I mean, your house is where you are to be. You're comfortable in your house. You get baffies on, your jammies or whatever. It's hard, but I mean, I just think this whole time. I mean, the gym's going to be amazing when we get back. Folk are going to be buzzing. It's going to be absolutely rammed. But I really do think it needs to happen ASAP. It's far too. It's far too long.
26.
Well, that's commercial gyms, but for what we do, there's not been a lot of clarity. I think about.
That'll be contact sports.
June, I think. June, July, I think. But at least we can get open. We can get individual training done. We can get guys in to just do their thing, hit bags, lift weights. I mean, we've upgraded so much. I put so much like money, time, effort into the place. The guys don't recognise the gym. Honestly, the place is a whole different place. It's a totally different game now. We've got so much equipment there, but I think the big thing is getting guys back in. Even an hour a week, mate, it really helps your mental health. It does. I mean, like I said to you before, the first lockdown, I kind of just gave in like everybody else. Like, streets are empty, random clapping on a Thursday night, all that stuff, you know what I mean? Like, it was weird, no cars anywhere. And then now this lockdown, I mean, how many cars you can hear them buzzing by outside, you know what I mean?
Everybody's just past caring now.
Aye. I don't know what's got
about the whole novelty aspect, like...
By the way, we're sitting 2 metres apart.
100%.
Scott, get off my knee.
But the whole novelty aspect of the first time, like, it's something new, like... What was it, you compared it to like a zombie apocalypse?
I didn't got this.
Locked in that, it was like fucking Shaun of the Dead round 2 or something.
I said to myself with the first one, I was like, fuck it. So I'm playing FIFA with the boys online, and I even dabbled in Mad Dog for the first time since I was about 18. Then you get a taste for it, then I got told there's like 2,800 calories in a bottle. Didn't care. Until I hit the second lockdown, I thought, nah, this is shit. I reckon I'd put maybe 2 stone on. Let's say this body warmer I've got, and it didn't fit me before Christmas. So the second lockdown, I said to myself, right, let's, because I'm quite a laid back person. I'm not somebody who really gets overly stressed. I'm privileged and lucky. No, I wouldn't say lucky because I work for it, but to be in the position I'm in, I didn't really. I'm quite a laid back person. I didn't really get stressed, and nothing really gets to me overly. And I don't know what the answer is. I've not got an answer for anybody, but the first lockdown, I was getting to a point where I'm looking at myself, and I was starting to get a bit like, fuck am I doing? I was stressing myself by usually being strong and fit and being active, and then no being. And then I thought the second lockdown, I'm like, this isn't happening again. I kind of something clicked in my head, like I said to you, I was sitting Boxing Day eating a T-bone steak with my family at my auntie and uncle's house, and the T-bone steak was hanging over the plate, and I had a bit of hangover, and I'm sitting going, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, why am I eating that? You know, like, and I mean, the trimmings and everything, I just ate my body weight the day before. Something just clicked. I mean, anybody that knows me, they'll know something just clicked, and I've been grafting since, and I just feel every day's a sunny day, man. Honestly, I just feel great for it. I think
it actually is a sunny day.
Well, aye, for once. But I just said to myself, like, no, like the last lockdown, this time invest into my health as opposed to treating it like a bit of a holiday.
That just shows you, like, as you were saying, like, that you've got access to that gym, and by no means lucky. I was actually thinking that on the way when you text, you were like, I'm just been at the gym, and I thought, lucky bastard, just been at the gym, and then I went, no, you can what? If you want to use a gym, open my fucking gym. Like he's no lucky bastard, but that just shows you, like, what benefit that can have, that you having access to the facilities.
But it breaks my heart that I can't give these guys this. I mean, like I said, there's an unlimited amount of guys in that gym that have come to me, and I mean, didn't get me wrong, this also speaks volumes to the community in the gym. I mean, the amount of people who have paid their fees for a full year and not access to the gym is, honestly, it's overwhelming. Sometimes I sit back, I can't take it for granted. Like today, I've just paid the gym, paid the bills today, and I'm going, I can't believe these guys are. They're still paying the gym. They still want the gym. They still respect the gym and me, and for the kind of the service that's there that they've put. I mean, however much that is a year, they've gave me, which is amazing. And I'm lucky enough that I say I'm not lucky enough, but I've put all that money back in the gym. The guys will see this, but I'm lucky enough that I can go and use that myself. And to say no to a lot of these guys is fucking breaking my heart, because I know so many of them were smashing it, were so much happier in life. Their body shape change. You look good, you feel good. You know what I'm saying. And I think see, having to say no to people is fucking hard, man. It really is. But there's light at the end of the tunnel now, so hopefully end of this month. But even the day, man, the memberships that I went in, I'm thinking, fucking hell. You know,
I've
always go and buy some else.
I've always thought, like, I'm wanting it to be there when I get back, so I'm going to put my money in.
If it wasn't for guys like
I'm going to put money in because I want it to be there when I get back, and obviously it's I think I'm going to say
that kills me thinking about it as well.
That's what I was going with, like, just I want to help as much as I can businesses try and stay open.
Yeah. Again, see through all this as well, it's opened my mind up to see like the local businesses I've been using rather than like I've got I'm going to plug her here, but my wee auntie, she always had, she grafted her whole life. She had a really high-end job with like the factory shop and all that, like mass production and clothes. The one I filmed back in the day, she ran that Castle Blair and all that. She's a wee animal, honestly, just a grafter. She started Joanne's Alterations, and she's absolutely smashed it all through lockdown and that as well. Not had a penny for the council because she's also working at her own house and stuff. But things like that, I mean, all the boys have been great. I've been plugging her to some of the lads, and they've all been getting stuff done with her. I got again, Reese today said to Reese about it. He's got stuff to go and take to her, and she's been smashed it. But things like local businesses, it's really got me thinking, you know, through lockdown about using local guys, the small man, you know, the small business, you know, the.
I've started going to the butchers to get my meat and all that. Instead of going to like say Tesco and getting shite chicken breast.
But you can see how much that's going to make a difference to like these businesses as opposed to all these big places. But again, the support we've had, it's phenomenal. The more I think about it, see when I sit there and think it really does fucking blow me away. And I think to myself, like, how have I got to this position? Like honestly, I can't emphasise like how good the people have been, because we probably wouldn't have been here if the guys hadn't supported as much. And that really does make it harder for when guys are saying, listen, can we get in and do that? I'm going, no, we can't.
You can't.
Did you ever, do you ken that Nathan Dasher? You familiar with that name, the Scouse boy? He's basically got his own gym. He used to be like a bodybuilder type thing, and he's like a similar position. You have to shut with the lockdown, but he was on our social media because he refused.
Is that Capo boy? Nick Capo?
Oh, I didn't care.
Is that the boy that just point blank refused to shut it?
Nathan Dasher, he's from Liverpool. I was on that Flip the Mindset podcast last week or something, and he had like police arrest him and that. It was just like, look, I'm not fucking close.
And folk, was folk doing the sort of GoFundMe thing for him and all that, was that?
That's right.
There's quite a few stories that came out. There was that Nick Capo guy as well. He was on like Good Morning Britain and all the telly programmes and all that as well. But it just shows you like for mental health, people do really value gyms. If they're willing to do stuff like that, their own money, above and beyond, to keep a place open, to keep a place going.
It's meant like, just if Nicola Sturgeon did jiu-jitsu, the gyms would not be shut.
I know, she would know, I know.
She would get it. None of them understand
it. If Nicola Sturgeon put her head at her arse, she would understand.
Just the politicians, full stop. How many of them, when you look at them, how many of them use the fucking gym? If they understood how much it actually fucking meant to them.
His tiny whiteys Nah, but again, to be honest, everybody's given them a hard time. Imagine being a politician in this time.
Wouldn't be me.
That's an impossible. To be fair, it's.
You wonder that wee camera, and no wonder he fucked off. Even this was coming out. Put that Mongo in Boris.
But it's like what you're seeing on the news and that now, they're like, the cases are going back up, and you're like, the fucking school, it was always the school, so why you fucking ruined everybody else? Because it was always going to be the schools. Look at like the dense populations that's been in school, and they're not going to follow the regulations, can't I mean? You're about 14, 15.
See, to be honest mate, I've argued with everybody on Facebook. Like I'm an anti-vaxxer, because for me, you're still be able to pass it, you still get the symptoms, it's no then an answer. So what's the point in giving people who are healthy it? Give it to people who need it. If it's going to affect people with the sort of, what is it, under 97% survival rate, give it to them. I don't need to take a vaccine if your old 90-year-old gran needs a vaccine. Give my vaccine to her. So that's the way I've been looking at it. Folk have been falling out with an argument, but then I've been saying to myself, I know nothing. I'm arguing with people, but I know nothing. We don't get told what the truth is. We don't get told fuck all. You just got to make your own assumptions. But I mean, I've argued with everybody over this, and again, obviously I'm biased because I know how clean my gym is. I know how good the environment is for health and for people and for mental health. I mean, I don't think there's been a lot of consideration through all this, where how it's not just about affecting people for their work and it's like you say, it's mental health. I mean, I read the story actually. This broke my heart. I read it was a nurse. I don't know if it went viral. Something on my Facebook. I've got no idea, but. They put a comment up and says that they went in to see their gran and granddad for the first time in 4 months, right? And they'd set their alarm 2 hours later and an hour earlier because they were so bored they slept in late. So bored, they'd nothing to do, they slept longer. Now, it's not like they've got a lot of life left and they're having to do shit like that. That's fucking heartbreaking. They could have spent that 3 hours a day with their family or a walk or, you know, just visiting, whatever, general. But I mean things like that, I mean, I know personally from it, I've been lucky enough to get a wee bit of funding in that as well. But these grants, I mean, I know guys who have took the 50 grand bounce back loan and then folded their business and then came maybe 2 or 3 tradesmen sort of like businesses, took the money and fucked off. I mean, say 100 grand, you do it with 2 businesses, you got 100 grand. How many pensioners could 100 grand help? Home help, bringing their messages and their food to their house, providing a service so that they don't have to catch it, the young people can then get out. Life goes on. I mean, you can't shut down the 97% of the world for the 3% that. I personally don't think so, and that might be selfish because I'm one of the lucky ones in the higher percentage. But why not put the money to protect those people as opposed to just fuck everybody else?
I know. I was sort of thinking the same. It was
hindsight in it, I suppose.
Like the 37 billion that was spent on that track and trace thing, which quite clearly doesn't work. Everybody
See,
knows
was it though?
Everybody knows
Just
it doesn't
pocket
work.
satin,
I know.
we didn't get in.
I think, like,
You don't know nothing, it's fucked up.
for that sort of money, you could actually set up old people villages.
You could
You like
Villages.
put them in a giant bubble, like a huge bubble.
a huge bubble, like in The Simpsons or something.
I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion at the end of the day. I'm similar to you, like, there's aspects I agree with in that, like the whole vaccine side of things. Like, personally, I've had COVID, I didn't feel like I need the vaccine. I wasn't taking it anyway, but they're starting to talk about,
Fuck, you
oh no, you need it.
I'll be the one moaning about it, and I'll be the one getting it next.
But it's like, no, you need it if you want to travel. I'm like, fuck off, it's not a passport, you know what I mean?
That's the other thing I've been arguing with folk about. They're all saying, well, you need to get the vaccine so you can get a pub. And I'm like, well, there's the problem straight away. Not once have you said I'm getting the vaccine for my health. This is the problem. Everybody's getting the vaccine so they can go on holiday, so they can go to a pub. It's wrong. The mindset's back to front. You didn't get a vaccine so you can get your literally your basic rights, your basic liberties taken away from you to be able to walk into any pub you want. You didn't get a vaccine for that. That's the wrong mindset. You get a vaccine for your health. So therefore, people are they've been spouted that much bullshit that people are now arguing with people but forgetting they're only getting a vaccine not for their health but for getting a fucking pub.
I know, I've yet to make my mind up of whether I was going to get one or not.
I understand people have to get it for work and stuff.
I'm thinking the same, sort of like, and not even like our country, we seem to have a surplus of vaccines where, like, you think of like continents like Africa and that, I know it's not hit them quite as bad, but these poorer countries that haven't got the vaccines, like, I would rather my vaccine went that way rather than me take it. But if it is going to stop me going on holidays and going on pubs and that, then unfortunately I'm going to get it.
That's never done at all.
But that's the wrong. That's the whole. That's what's fucked about this is the fact that people want it so they can get individual liberties back. They shouldn't be taken away.
No, you shouldn't. No, but and that's the thing. Like, how can I change? Like, if that's the way it is.
Holiday rapid. That's the thing. And I just can't get my head around why a lot of people don't. That I've argued with online and on Facebook and stuff. I mean, even friends of mine, kind of the jokey arguments and. There is a lot of truth behind them, but they just didn't go as far as when you're talking to the random from America, But the whole thing about, I'm saying to friends and that, they're like, well, you can sit in your house in the huff when I'm having a pint in the pub. And I'm going, that's exactly what is wrong with it. You're not taking it for the right reason. You're not taking it because the government are telling you need it or you'll die. They're saying you need it so you can go for a pint.
That's mad, isn't it?
You think it that way, it's fucking wrong,
I'll take it if I can get back into pubs on barefoot.
A few of them as well.
Well, you go to England for the next night out.
You could literally, you could probably pub crawl everybody's backyard now. Everybody's got a pub in the backyard.
Beer machine there.
Oh fuck aye. That was another problem I had. I had a shot of my mate's one, I think I went through about 4 kegs in about 3 nights. It's just easy to go in and... But again, that's coming back down to this whole situation. It's fucking people's heads up. Who goes to a pub on a Tuesday night, really?
Me.
But do you know what I mean? Like, you're doing that every day's a Tuesday.
Aye.
It's fucked up.
So see, just going back a wee bit, like, away from the gym sort of thing, like, you obviously done law. What was it that made you pursue that sort of goal?
Long story, mate. I didn't have any, like, I didn't have like an end goal in my head. What do you want to do? Fuck knows. I'm still young. I didn't care about what I do, sort of thing. And then I ended up becoming a dad. And it's weird. Life just changes. You can't just float about. And you can't just dodge about. I was I come back from Magaluf and then I decided I'd done so many random weird jobs. A tree surgeon for about 6 months with some boy, smashing trees about. Didn't realise how hard it was and I thought, fuck that. I went to college. But what I'd done was I tried to go offshore. I'd done banksman and slinging and all these other courses in Aberdeen with the money I saved, believe it or not, saved in Magaluf when I came back. I went to Aberdeen, my mate, who's a doorman at the time, now subsequently he's a doctor, believe it or not. Mental. But the two of us went up to Aberdeen for a week, we'd done our courses and then the credit crunch hit, remember that? Couldn't get a job, so going through trying to give myself a sort of end life goal and a career or whatever, I ended up going to college. I'd done a last minute course because I left school with fuck all because I was a footballer. I had one higher I think and it was art, believe it or not. So I ended up going to college, I ended up doing it was a pharmaceutical, NC in pharmaceutical sciences, which was solid.
I can imagine.
But that then opened the gateway to do a HNC and then get to uni. So because I've known, I was just trying to do random little courses that would look good on a kind of a uni application. Nothing I was interested in. I even thought about going down the pharmacy route, but couldn't spell half of the shit the other day. I couldn't even count how many letters, I couldn't count past 10, so there's words like fucking benzodiazepine I had to remember for.
Just a bit chloride at the fucking tablet.
So there's all that, but I went to college and then I kind of, what was the question?
How did you get into law?
How did you get into the law route?
So I end up actually going to do nursing, believe it or not. Which is the opposite of me, as you probably know. I'm usually fucking people up instead of fixing them. But what I done was I went to do nursing because I wanted to go offshore and as a medic. I had a link to get offshore, and big shift in my life was the day I had to do my first placement. I had to bed bath this woman with MS. Absolutely scared. The look she gave me, she couldn't move. The look she gave me, I was like, nah, this isn't for my way. This isn't for me. Like, she obviously seen this young lad come in to give her a bed bath with a nurse. Young handsome lad, me lad. And she's looked at me and none of her body could move. And she just went, big wide eyes, looked up at me, and I thought, fucking poor woman. I can't do this. So I went straight up to my tutor at uni and I says, right, we're only 6 weeks in. She says, right, you can change your course. Luckily, she was obviously floating about like maybe social work and stuff. I was like, nah, I want to completely change. I don't want to be anywhere near those scenarios again. So she said, what about law, criminology? So I signed up for whatever one you got. And then I actually fell in love with the criminology side, so I ended up doing all the theory side. I ended up smashing my degree, and then because I'd started the gym as I was doing this, I mean, I fucking had a lot on my plate. I had a newborn, the gym set up, I was working in a bar, and I had uni. I nearly fucked uni straight off because you're just so busy. I just gave myself too much. And again, it comes back to the whole thing about anxiety and stress. Believe it or not, I wasn't overly stressed. Just so laid back about it. It's like, what?
How did you manage your time at that point when you had all these different things on?
Mate. That's why I look. I'm actually only 25. Look at me. I'm fucking 40. No, I really don't know, bud. I really don't know. But I managed to get through this, and then the gym kind of started. The gym just went boom. I was about third year at uni. Just went bang. I ended up having 2 units in a small industrial estate in County Beef, just across the way where we're now. We took on a second unit, and the gym just exploded. And at that point, third year, I managed to get through uni. I didn't overly push too hard. I mean, I done a dissertation in 7 weeks. My tutor was like, you're going to have to just postpone this and come back next year, do next year again, do this year again. And I'm like, nah, fuck that, I'll be fine. Winged it, absolutely winged it. I managed to get like I think it was a 2-2, a pass in my dissertation. I then decided I'm going to go and do a master's, so I got a master's degree in criminological research. Okay. So I went to a master's, but that's because I thought I'd have time. The gym's established, I was only working at night, which I did. I did have time to do it. I just thought, you know what it was? My cousin said to me once, he says, you'll only be the, all you can do is kick a ball, I'm the brainy one in the family. And I was like, fucking show you. So I went to uni, got a degree. Now I've got a master's. I've got a master's and he's only got a degree now. So that was just a thing in my head, I think. It was just like a wee personal goal. So I said, why not? I came from no academic background at high school and that, and I thought, I'll get a fucking master's degree if I want a master's degree. And that's just my attitude. You kind of push forward and thought, fuck it, I'll do it. Folks say, you can't do it, I'll show you. And then I ended up doing the law. I was looking at going into contract law and all these various things that would eventually allow me to be self-employed, so I could do my own contract law, like writing up contracts for party 1 and 2 between businesses and shit like that. So regardless of what was going to happen, I was always in the mindset that I was always going to do something for myself as opposed to answering to somebody. I've kind of always been like a wee bit rebellious and couldn't listen to folk. See, when I played football, I couldn't listen to coaches. I was a bit just a wee arrogant, stubborn twat. Probably still am, but I couldn't listen to people. And I kind of always had, probably subconsciously in my head, that I was going to do something on my own, pretty much my whole life. And then the gym just took off, and I had this crossroads. Really push the gym, or do something I love. Less money, probably less hours, more time to myself, live. Or do something that potentially I'm going to hate, sitting in a fucking suit. I'm not a suit man, with trackies and training gear man, So I thought, fuck it, push this gym hard, and it's the best decision I've probably made. And I've took so many risks on the build up to that, but just it's weird how it panned out, man. It really is weird.
The reason I asked is just because I'm kind of in a similar position now. Like, so obviously I've got the job. I've just started uni last week. I've got this, I've got online football team. So I'm just like, if it all gets a bit much.
Mate, if you love them all, keep doing them. If you love them all, keep doing them.
Like, I like my schedule being chocker. I'm not like wanting to sit and
I'm the same,
don't
get me wrong, I like a wee long line and roll about my bed in the morning, but I'm in a position I can do that.
Something to wake up for you.
But mate, if I had 3 and 4 nights a day that I loved, I'd be doing them.
Aye.
You know what I mean? I'd be doing them, definitely. But I mean, even, I'm not gonna lie, I fucking moaned about it and hated the whole reading shit and study. I actually miss that part of uni, like, you know, reading journals and going to study up things. And aye. I mean,
like
a lot of the stuff.
That.
Well, a lot of the stuff that kind of relevant to me today that I've used in, like, there's like I used to really take to theory. So guys like 500 years ago talking shit about whatever that's relevant now. Like things like there was a guy I used to use as a reference in all my essays. I think what's his name? Foucault. Michel Foucault, but he used to always say knowledge is power, power is knowledge, all this type of stuff. So basically to me that is study, always self-improve.
Aye.
And if self-improve is just going to the gym, get 1% better every day, if it's just doing one jiu-jitsu class a week, that knowledge is going to be power, innit? So, you know, it's going to keep pushing you on. So like you say, with the women, if they knew the basics of jiu-jitsu, that's a lot of power they've got.
Aye, a lot of power they've got, especially the untrained person, which is 99% of the world. I know, and I think with that the hardest step is actually the first day in the gym. Like actually once you get in there, fucking bring a pal.
It's likely to break you 9 times out of 10. If you go back.
It is scary joining a new gym, especially an MMA gym. It's fucking, it is terrifying.
But the thing is, see 5 minutes in the door, you realise, fucking hell, what was I worried about?
You do, aye.
It's weird, that walk up to the door, kind of jittering, you're shaking, and you walk in the door and I'll say, alright mate, what can give a spiel, talk to you, like, you know, basically tell you a bit about the class. And then it's weird, it's just like everything's gone, eh? It's just...
It does, as soon as you start, it completely goes away.
I didn't feel like that. Like, I was shiting myself for the whole fucking 60 minutes or something I was in there, and then I ended up going home all tangled in that.
Aye, to be fair, you picked
one
a
of the boogie bounce classes, was it?
Oh,
no, he come to he come to Rise and Phoenix with me once.
No, you been on a split?
I think I did, aye. Which is a fucking another
just while we're on the submission as well. He's not just been nice to you, he's been a prick to you there, eh?
Just while we're on the that's a phenomenal gym as well.
Very uncomfortable, it's better that way.
Jamie there's had sort of a few trials and tribulations with his...
I know, the roof and that coming down.
Poor man.
I know.
I mean, we shared his GoFundMe to try and get him back up, but mate, I know how I would feel. He's just done his gym up, and then remember that big fucking rain it hit?
Aye.
He's ended up whole roof leaked, whole
gym flooded.
He just done up as well.
Insurance, no?
Don't know.
No idea of the ins and outs, but...
Well, it's like that house fire, and where was it? Dunfermline? Or it was I think it was in Dunfermline or Rosyth or something. It was 5, and I'm sure they were out in the hot tub in the back garden or something, and the house went up, and the whole house just fucking burnt to the ground, but they forgot to renew their house insurance. I think that was the story, but fuck me, there's a GoFundMe page, and granted the community up altogether. I mean, like, what's a tenner for a household?
I know.
But it's just scary when you look at these disasters, but it's the same, like we've spoken on the earlier podcast, and that that'll never happen to me. Like you're your own fucking wee bit invincible, like talking about the garden with like a plane crash, like I'm not going to be in a fucking plane crash, how do you can?
As long as you've got a vaccine,
you want to be
put yourself in that situation if you get the vaccine. No from me, I'm buying a camper van. Fuck that.
So just like maybe focusing on mental health specifically, you had to ever deal with anything, like either personally or had to maybe put your arm around somebody and pull them through something?
Mate, who was it was saying the other day, you're basically like an agony aunt. You came up with a spark in. So obviously I just smashed that big room down the pit of cage, so the spark in had me lights, and I can't mean, somebody came in to buy some gear off us, so Goliath apparel, by the way.
Just when you say
Goliath apparel, yeah. No heroin sold in Goliath anyway. Or protein. So I've got a wee side clothing business out the gym, just managed to make it turn into like another opportunity to. Anyway, I had a guy coming in to buy, he had come collect a couple of hoodies in the spark he was in, and it was one of the boys for the gym, and he was telling me about his missus kicking him out and just got wrapped up in the whole drinking game every day and no pulling his weight with the kid and this and that, and the guy's yapping away to me. And I'm then I gave him the big spiel. Like, I just gave him, I'm pretty cold and straight to the point, as you know, Scott. I just said to you, right, this is what's happening. Fucking shake yourself. Like, you can't have your missus running about daft all day, plus you go to work, doing this, you need to pull your fucking weight, or you're gone, and your life's going to be even harder. You ain't getting stressed out now. You're going to make it worse for yourself. Pull yourself together, get out running, do some workouts where even take the wee man away to walk, or get the dog out or whatever. Because I think he's just sitting walking away drinking and playing FIFA all day, and that's obviously then putting strain on her and blah. Anyway, so the Sparky's like, fucking hell, he's like, you like fucking Trisha? He's like, was that usually part of your job? And I'm going, mate, daily. But do you know something? I'm in a position that people, they will listen to me, they will take on board what I'm saying. So again, I'm quite direct. I'm no. I mean, I've had a few things recently where the guys in the gym they're saying this and they're doing that, and they're saying, oh well, you need to speak. The way you speak to people sometimes, I'm very direct, especially my fighters. They're paying me money to coach them. Now it's martial arts, but also I give them my opinion as well on life and stuff as well. Sometimes I shouldn't, but I do. That's just me. So for instance, like saying to guys, like, I'm not just going to say you're pretty and you're amazing at kickboxing. I've got to tell you what you're shite at, because you're not paying me to tell you what you're good at. You already know what you're good at. I'm telling you, you're shite at this, you need to work on this, you need to get a grip with that, you need to stop eating shite, you need to whatever. Like we're speaking about Hitler. No, you're not, you're still eating. Alright, so some guys take the huff of that, some guys take it on board. Regardless, they eventually take that on board and push on, and that's my job. So I didn't grudge anybody coming with any problems, but there's fucking lots coming my way now. There's a lot of guys I think they're just looking for that wee outlet, and again, I can't provide them with a place to train, and it's fucking hard. It really is.
I mean, we've spoken about that before previously, obviously, like in terms of like my mental health, there's different scale. Like I think the example we used before is like somebody having cancer and somebody being fat. Like both are unhealthy, but in completely different aspects. Like some people are genuinely ill and need proper medical treatment. There's some people, if they're they can do a lot to help themselves. I think so that I think a lot said about that, like man up sort of thing. But I think it's weird to say, in some cases it's needed when you know that person.
Okay, well, there's different levels of help people need, different types of help. There's also different remedies for different things. I mean, like I say, gyms know the answer to all problems, but I tell you what, it will help. It will help regardless.
It's scientifically proven that it releases endorphins.
That's it, endorphins released, but I really do feel like exercise is one of the best medicines about there. I mean, regardless of what your problems are. I mean, you get away for an hour for a start, get away from whatever you're doing for an hour, clear your mind, your brain releases the endorphins, you kind of get the juices going. You're likely, if you're working your arse off too and you're doing martial arts, you're likely to sleep better, you're likely to be tired when you get home, so then you're less likely to think about things, overthink things. I just think you start to look good, you start to feel good in everyday life. You just have a spring in your step, you know, everything's better when you feel good, and I think training is one of the best things for you. If you can find a sport, like you're saying, football, jiu-jitsu, martial arts, whatever sport's for you, anything. I mean, I've got a mate who plays squash twice a week, ex-footballer, but loves squash more now. You know, and he says it's the best thing he's done, best stress relief.
To be fair.
I think he's got a rich friend with a wee squash court. I think his mate's got a wee squash court thing in his fucking mansion. So I think they've been doing a wee bit of squash, but he said he absolutely loves it now, and it's again coming out of lockdown and just finding that new activity, that new sport is really helping the guy. But I think regardless who you are, where you're from, you've got to find something. Everybody needs something that's not their everyday life. You know, everybody needs to get out, and whether that's, I'm not going to say unhealthy, but whether there's lots of kids doing it, PlayStations and tablets. I mean, too much of anything's bad, too much of training's bad. Too much of martial arts is bad for you. You know, too much of eating healthy is bad for you, to a certain extent. Do you know what I mean? I think if your outlet is gaming, great. But if you're doing that 8 hours a day, do you know what I mean? Everybody needs something.
In this day and age, if they count what Kirby was, they'd count the answer.
Low percentage would. Very low. And that's not even wholly.
Johnny Popper. Do you mind doing it?
No, I heard of that.
Oh fuck, that's my age.
Is that when you keep blowing it into the pops?
You calm down. Well, you got your spare time's up to you. It's kind of what it used to be. It was a slingshot. But you used to get the plastic top of a bottle, you cut it off. You know the plastic bit that comes with the lid? You keep that, you cut the thumb off in a rubber glove, put it through the hole, put the wee thing so pop. Pink stains and that, it was brilliant.
I need to try that in my spare time.
Used to do it with like BB bullets and shoot the fucking each other.
And then,
don't try any of this at home.
In their defence, that's not even their fault though, the amount of fucking cars and that kicking about. You can hardly get like that street there, you couldn't get a fucking car
cabs out there.
I know. I don't have too many fucking driveways.
Showed my age, I used to hang about the fields that are in your house right now.
Aye.
This used to be fields when I was younger. Big mud fields, big amazing mud fields. So you just trek for them with wellies on, pure perfect mud.
You forget that with this area, that this used to be a fucking Tesco in a field.
Tesco wasn't even there when I was younger.
Like, this whole fucking area was built around that Tesco. That's fucking mental.
But it's harder for me, bud, because I remember it when it was a fucking field. I remember it as a field. Honestly, I think I was about 8 or 9. Used to just hang about the fields and the woods a bit here. So the Johnny Poppers.
No fucking blowing them up to the pop, eh?
Nah.
That's a rip up, man. I'm going to slate it, but I'll embrace it though. Who am I,
It's fucking...
anything else she's what I had, that's been fucking cracking by the way.
I just think, just final point on the gym thing, also, again, I'm very biased. But I just think like you're saying about endorphins and about chemicals and things like chemical imbalances causing whatever in people's heads and giving people dodgy thoughts and bad thoughts or whatever you want to call it. I just think training, I just think the sense of community as well and the get out, I think it's massive for people. Again, me and Scott, like you're saying about your working that, you cannot wait to get to train. How many times have you said, just work too much, just want to train? Why do you want to train?
It's fucking
amazing,
that's amazing.
It's
so addictive. Best addiction you can get.
I actually find it hard to put into words the actual fucking love I've got. Like, I was talking to the missus about this the other week there. She's a professional footballer.
Should have said.
Aye, I know. So fucking I never forget where I'm going, you fucking pick me up, cunt. Aye, it was I don't know if you've ever felt this, and I know I'll feel it when I go back. Like if I've had maybe a week or two off, just that sense of being exactly where I'm supposed to be. Like I actually step on the mat sometimes, and I sometimes put my hands down and just take a deep breath.
Aye, yes.
And you go like,
let's go and go there.
I'm exactly where I'm fucking supposed to be right now, and nothing else has ever gave me that feeling. As you say, like the confidence that I've got for it, that like I first started martial arts because I started going on nights out when I was 16, 17, and I would see fights and instantly I'd be like, I need to get away from here. I'm fucking terrified. I can't deal with this. I need to learn how to defend myself. And funnily enough, I think that's something that you're born with, and that's never went away from me. Like even now, knowing the stuff that I know, if I see a fight in a night out, I go, get me away from here, because it's that whole fight or flight thing, and I was born to get away.
But it's also, you know,
and I thought that I thought I would be learning this stuff that would go away, and it never has, and I'm fine with that, and I've come to terms with it, that's the way I am.
It's also, you know, potentially you could fuck that guy up in the train as well. Can potentially really hurt somebody, but I think as well, there's a big thing for me is it's a safe space for a lot of people. It's a place that like you just get away from everything, you know, even not ever. I mean, there's guys in the gym who have got 2, 3, 4 kids, not jobs, 2, 3, 4 kids where they're stuck in that routine with just screaming kids all the time. As well as we've got loads of couples in the gym, you know, so it's a sport as well that like you're saying about the lasses now getting involved with the mixed classes. Some of these couples come and it's an activity for them to do together as well, also have that common ground that they can talk about after. You know, they can discuss, they can even train in their own time. I mean, that's why I teach a lot of actually holding pads in the gym. It's not just, I mean, I remember boxing gyms going up where you don't do pads with the coach, they wouldn't teach you to hold pads. So I'm really heavy on getting guys to hold pads, and it means that you can train anywhere at any time with anybody you want. If you're not bad, if you're a very, very average, decent-ish shite pad man, you can still hold pads enough to give somebody a workout. So this is where I think a lot of the couples seem to be doing well through lockdown, that are they train together, you know, so they can train with that guarantee. They can go get a wee sweat, a wee pads, a wee release, get the endorphins going again. I think it's just a massive safe place in so many places, in so many different sort of ways that I just think it's needed. It's needed. I can't put it into words.
It's better than filing for a divorce stage. You should your partner not going to the gym and not fuck it.
Well, that's it. Before you get lifted.
I can't like stress enough how good the gym is. It's by far the best gym I've ever been in.
Appreciate that.
Whether you're just gone in, because there's weights there as well. If you don't want to, if you don't want to join, if there's weights there as well, where you do see some folk just coming in to use the weights and that.
It's a different atmosphere. It's no bodybuilding gym. It's not full of posers. I mean, you can go into let's say Pure or Gym 64 or Brining, and you see the big roided heads with the beautiful eyebrows, the shaved legs and that. You know the ones. Owen Evans. You know the one that the pretty boys, the pretty boy type gyms. All they're doing is basically getting ready for their 7 trips to Ibiza in the summer that they can't afford with their £400 trainers on that they can't afford. Those are intimidating places for a lot of people. And I think what we've got there in this community, I mean, we've got guys all shapes and sizes coming in, battling at a weight session where there's an MMA class going on, or you know, I'm trying to cater for everyone. I'm trying to put everyone under one house, and we're not finished yet.
Aye.
Not finished yet, but there's more to come. Like there's so much more to come in the future. I've got a few more big plans.
You got an exclusive for the podcast?
No, unless you want to plug my clothing line. Goliath apparel. We'll obviously be looking to expand because the place is just rammed full of kit now. Eventually, I think going forward, there's got to be either an extension, maybe onto one of the units round about us, or just open a second place. I think.
Do you think it's obviously what's your position now, like in terms of like full time? Is that your full time thing? Would you like to be open?
I mean full time wise, I mean going forward, it's kind of this whole situation, this scenario that we're in now in the world. I think it's kind of put into perspective like what I've got. Like sometimes I need to stand back, like the day hoovering my cage. So I stood back and just looked at it going, fucking hell, it's looking good. You know, but I don't see that all the time. No, like I've got mates that I've seen recently, and they're like, can I see the gym? We'll pop along and have a look. They come in and they're like, wow, these videos didn't do the place justice. You've done good and that. And I'm thinking, I didn't see this because I'm there every day. So until an outside influence comes in and goes, and then go, it is actually, it's doing bad, But I didn't see that. But going forward, I think I'll be opening the gym as much as possible. I'll try and accommodate as many people as possible. I mean, there's now 4 or 5 coaches within the place. There's a few new things coming to the gym, new classes, bigger timetable. There'll probably be some things on through the day. I mean, I'm not going to hold back. I mean, I'm in a privileged position where I can absolutely love what I do. So why just do it half-arsed? You know, so if I can get someone, listen. I've got one of my fighters now who's he's been doing a bit of hard work in that. And the best advice I've given him, he's been obviously trying to make money doing PTs, you know, I think he was working out the roads or whatever, and whatever's happened, but to make a wee bit ends meet, I was like, take some pads, because he's a very good boxer, I was like, advertise your skill, you know, your knowledge, and he's doing a bit of pad work here and there with one-on-ones and that.
I've seen that, they've got quite a few lasses.
I've seen that. He's doing good, and I just said to him, regardless if you've got 1 lassie or 20 lassies, you give them the same level of coaching. Because you can't just fall out with them because on this particular night a few of them have got something else to do. Regardless, you've got to put everything into that one session regardless of how many people. You know, so if you've got 2 people, you're giving those 2 people more coaching than there would be 10. So they'll then go back and say, fuck, it was just 2 of us, but wow, it was brilliant. I learned so much. They go then to tell the pals and the knock-on effect. Then later on, 6 months down the line, boom, busy class. And that's what I've tried to do. I mean, we started off with 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 150 people coming out the gym now. You know, so, and it's hard. You've seen some of the busy classes, 60 people in classes, and it's hard to give a level of coaching. But don't get me wrong, I love the busy classes because the atmosphere and everybody feeds off everybody. But as you know, the smaller, more detailed MMA classes, that's where I kind of thrive. I like to talk. I like to explain. I like to put things into detail. So again, going forward, am I going to be doing more full time? Fucking right.
That'd be fucking.
I've got PTs now coming into the gym. They're going to be doing extra classes that the guys can get in. There's like Dan Kyle. He's coming. He's doing a 12-round thing on a Saturday, where it's like circuits and stuff like that. I've got a couple other various things happening. Dean Hepburn's come on board. He's massively experienced guy. within boxing, striking, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. He's going to be teaching on a Wednesday. Then got Rhys Straffern, he's going to be teaching on a Tuesday. John Humphrey's teaching on a Thursday. I'm pretty much getting kicked out now, eh? I'm literally just doing a couple of striking sessions now. Actually, no, I think about it, I'm going to have to step up and do some more classes.
That's fucking right.
So, no, but do you know what it is, mate? I always say to my guys, what I say is not gospel at all. It's just my view and my take on things. What I've seen, what's worked for me, what I've learnt over the years. It seems to be working, but again, it makes it 10 times better if it's not just my take on things. If I've got Rhys, if I've got Dean, if I've got Blackie as well, Black's in the gym. Blackie's, his results are now. I don't know if you've got Blackie on Instagram.
I don't think so, no.
He's a ex-army PT, he's worked with fighters up in Inverness, like Ross Houston and that.
What's his PT page?
Alan Black, PT Nutrition.
No.
Alan's a fucking loyal as a dog, man, really good guy, but his results are now phenomenal. He's just posted one up today, some lassie's lost about 3 stone I think over lockdown. Phenomenal results he's getting and he's busy. But these guys are all now going to be influencing people in the gym, you know, so there's going to be a good squad, coaching wise, 6 or 7 folk in there now. So again, what I'm teaching is not gospel, but it means that we've got other takes on things, other views, and if something I don't know, telling you right now, the other 4 or 5 of them.
No, I will not.
You know, so there's no way anything going unwanted. It's big couple of years coming forward. I'm looking to get fighters active and getting some big shows and get these boys fucking full time, make a career. I know there's some talent in that gym, so I reckon we'll be a big name out there in the next sort of 2 to 5 years.
Goliath MMA.
I cannot fucking wait till this is back up again, man, honestly.
I'll go with fire along, didn't I? I've just not got the balls to get choked out again.
Come and see the pad sessions first.
Honestly, like, just for anybody listening, you actually need to come. Like, it's not a fucking...
Just batter pads on a Monday and Thursday at 7 o'clock, all the days, batter pads, a wee bit of bag work, some bodyweight exercises. I'm telling you right now, it'll be hard, right? But see at the end of it, there's no better feeling, and when I shout, right, time, that's class, it's like, there's no better feeling, there's no better buzz.
Just walk out to the street and knock some cunt.
You don't want to hit the petrol station on the way home, they look at you the wrong way, they're fucked. But there's no better feeling than stepping out of class and you know you've grafted, and I promise you that night you'll sleep like a baby, no move. You'll no move.
And they'll wake up.
It's just that, see, come what it is, it's the whole clarity in your mind with it. See, when you train, you've got routine, you've got discipline. It carries on through everything else. And I think like that clarity as well, can you make sounder decisions for you? You didn't just snatch things, you're impulsive. Kind of like yourself, you're maybe impulse with jobs, but when you're training hard, you're thinking clear, you're thinking sounder. Does that make sense?
I feel 10 times better when I'm training. There's no better feeling. There's no better feeling in the world.
I can't explain why. I really can't explain why until you've been in that position. Like you just have a different outlook on everything.
I think it's a clearer headspace, so you can obviously
you can process. You process things.
You've got all these different things jumbled up, and you can't really.
There's no out to get rid of the stresses.
So they're just all building on top of each other.
It's such a good way to put things into perspective. Like, if you're worried about something beforehand, if you're still worried about it, 9 times out of 10 you'll not be worried about it after.
Or absolutely nowhere near
as intense. There is no better cure, there isn't. And as you're saying, like the amount of discipline you get for it.
I mean, at the end, if you think of that, the clarity in your head after training, the headspace you're creating, I'm not saying it will, there's definitely not the answer, but it's definitely a contributing factor that people may not think about. Crazy, I say crazy, it's not crazy in people's heads, but thoughts maybe hurting themselves or doing something that we'd say stupid, maybe thinking they've not got an out, they've not got a place to go, not that long ago there was lots of suicides about Fife, see maybe some of these guys had a bit more training or a bit more opportunity to train or do something they love, they might be thinking better, they might be thinking clearer, they might be an out. Again, like I say, that's not the answer, but it definitely is worth worth looking into. If you're really struggling,
it's an option.
Find a sport, find an activity that you fucking love and at least give yourself a fucking chance. Do you know what I mean?
We were talking about all the different tools in the tool bag, like exercise is a massive fucking tool for curing mental health.
100%.
There, but if you're exercising, it's obviously natural. It might
see, being blowing out your arse is the best medicine. I'm telling you right now. When you're blowing out your arse and you've got sweat coming from absolutely everywhere, muscles aching that you don't know you had, You wake up the next day, it's a proper achievement, it's a proper sense of achievement.
You're just walking up the stairs now.
But do you know what's good about the gym environment? It's the same thing about the training owners. You rub off other people that are, you see, the best way to explain it, you've got like a full class, the atmosphere, and everybody else grafting around about you. You think to yourself, fucking hell, he's twice the size of me, he's twice the age of me. I better get my arse going, so it keeps you going, It really does.
It's a meeting new people aspect too, because you're going to speak to people you've never ever met before, or you've never come across.
Mate,
and you hear all these stories, and it's good.
Some folk in that gym, you'd never believe you would ever see or speak to in any walk of life apart from within a gym environment. There's so many I'm thinking in my head right now, thinking, he shouldn't be anywhere near him, he should be lifting him, he should be probably banging him. So many. Aye, that's his bank manager. You know what I mean? It's mad. But we've got just thinking there as well. We've got like Ray McAloon coming in as well. He's I think he was the founder originally of Fife CrossFit. CrossFit Fife. We've then got Alan Black. We've got Dan Kyle. We also have Lindsay McNeil working, sort of coming in at the gym as well. There's so many different people now. Just sort of attracting. The gym's just pulling all these people in, just magnetically pulling all these different types of people in. I mean, there's other people who have been inquiring about PT at the gym, and just so many different influences, different areas, with different skill sets and different disciplines. Wrestling, jiu-jitsu, there's a guy who wants to come and teach Muay Thai potentially once a week as well. It's mad, man. It's mad.
So just in relation to maybe juggling things at once, so see how you've obviously got all these people, like you were saying, like a magnet effect. Is there any bit that's concerning in your head, like if I bring this person in, it might change the whole fucking mood of the gym?
Might change my mood about the gym, because it's, see, try to set timetables up but also keep the majority happy for, because if I get all of these guys in, which I mean there's a few inquiries, but you never get everybody, you know, you never materialise with everything, but I think the gym dynamic where the timetable we've been used to, really a pretty chill timetable, maybe 3 hours a night. I'm probably going to have to step up to maybe 4 hours a night with different classes. Then you've got a new dynamic of having to put the kids back in, as well as having enough striking, enough fight team time, enough for the beginners, enough for the ladies, enough for the 3-4 disciplines. And I've got to squeeze that into a week. Potentially 4 or 5 hours a week. That's going to suit the majority, and it's mostly night times when folk finish work. You know, so that will give me personally a headache. But again, it's a fucking great thing.
What a great headache to have. It's
a fucking great headache to have.
Do you offer classes during like daytime though?
Oh, this is so many inquiries, mate. Honestly, so many inquiries. I've never really had the sort of the need for it now. There's a few of the women really, and I thought, now we offer women only classes 4 hours a week, so 4 sessions a week, which there is no other gym in probably Scotland that do anywhere near that. A lot of other gyms, they just say, right, well, you've got 7 o'clock Tuesday night and that's it for the women. I'll try to give the women as much a choice as the guys. I mean, nobody's better than anybody. Just because one's a fighter doesn't mean he gets to train more than anybody else, you know what I mean? Everybody have the same opportunities and the same amount of time. They're all paying the same amount of fees, so nobody gets any different. So, I mean, I try and do as much as possible, but we've got 4 hours to choose for the women. And there's been a lot of women inquiring, like, you know, like after the school run. Seems like the sort of, the mums, they want to chuck the kids to school. Maybe the part-time mums who then have got maybe a Tuesday, Wednesday off, they want a session at 9:30 or whatever. I've had a few inquiries of that, but as for MMA and stuff through the day, at the moment it seems few and far between, but there does seem to be a sort of, there's guys wanting to come in maybe before their work and stuff like that as well. Like I say, I'm not a morning hawk, I'm not, that's the other problem I've got, but we also do offer 7am Jiu-Jitsu with John, with our Jiu-Jitsu coach John Humphreys, but to be honest mate, I'm still trying to figure out, they're probably, well I never say never, but there probably will be more available. We've got circuits classes getting added, we've got lifting classes, we've got strength conditioning, there's so much more bodies about and so much more sort of versatile coaching now, that we're just going to have to upgrade that timetable again,
So just for folk listening, you got Instagram, Facebook, anything like that?
I've got Instagram, Facebook, just Goliath MMA, aye.
I'll tag you in the post when we put it up anyway, just so folk can...
Aye, Goliath apparel, if you want a hoodie.
Aye.
Goliath apparel.
Flashy alone today, guys.
Fucking get some stuff.
No, that's good. It's good, mate. It's just that's another thing for me. It's good. There's opportunities now arising at the gym for me. I mean, just wee things like we're getting now because of the gym and the facility we've got. And I'm getting guys from Scotland now want to come in and train here and there. Like I've got even for down south. Like I'm mates with Saul Rogers, an ex sort of UFC, Ultimate Fighter, Bellator fighter currently. He's up regularly as well. Hopefully we'll be doing a bit more sort of striking based stuff with him in his camps, and a few other guys from around Scotland who have trained at some of the sort of more well known gyms or want to jump in with us. The name of the gyms now is just growing at a rapid rate. Obviously I'm biased, as I said, but it seems like what I've done in 3 years, some of the bigger gyms,
It's took them 10-20 to achieve.
Aye, and I've not got an answer to that. I don't know why.
Commitment, hard work, people around you.
Aye, definitely like friends, family, and
just
that.
a need for it in the area as well. Just as you say, that it's not the most affluent area. I think that it's just the perfect.
We're kind of bang in the middle of Fife.
Aye,
we've got guys now. We've got a guy coming down from Perth, trains twice a week. We've got obviously Fife like Cooper, Strathmiglo. There's a boy from St Andrews. We've got boys that come for the Leaf. All over Fife, pretty much. Queen's Ferry, the other side of the bridge. There's going to be a guy coming for. He mentioned me the other week. The base on the other side of Edinburgh. It's going to take about an hour to get here. That's that way. Something it's near there. Somewhere later. We'll just say that's it.
Wait till I get the map out. He's fucking miles away.
So there's guys who come further afield, but I don't know what, I've no answer to why it's grown so quickly in 3 years.
It's good though,
It is. It's good. Again, I don't get sometimes I need to stand back and just kind of remember what's going on, because I'm constantly like family and that. They listen to me and they hear my ideas and just fucking slow down a bit. They're doing too much, that. But
it can get a bit overwhelming when you everything's gone right. You're like, something's going to fuck up now.
That's it. I know. Well, I just got the gym pretty much ready for after lockdown. I had everything painted. I've been in this lockdown training most days, but doing all the odd jobs, painting and can day it up. I've got loads of new equipment and that, and doing the floors, and always give myself odd jobs to keep busy. And then I just got it perfect. I got everything in a place, like all the kits kind of rammed in, but I had a decent sized spot, enough to do us. And then I got an opportunity to buy a competition cage. I think it's a 12-foot cage for the Art of Combat. And we've had so many good memories for Art of Combat. That cage has been good to my fighters. I couldn't say no to it. Potentially shows in the gym. But I had to rip a big sparring room down. Mate, you ought to see the fucking mess I made. When I say I wasn't stressed out, I haven't been. See, when I seen the mess of the gym after having it spot on clean and everything right. There's dust, there's still fine dust and shite everywhere. And I'm now trying to reposition some of the equipment. Just every day. I just feel like my life is moving that to there, to there, to there, to there. Just constantly following myself around, moving stuff. And but we're getting there. We're at the finishing line, hopefully. For a wee while, I'd imagine. No,
this is a fucking finishing line for me anyway.
Before the riots. Before the riots.
I'm not rioting, but I'll be in a bit. I'll cheer them on. So just before we go, you got anything advice-wise for anybody listening? One bit of advice you'd give them if they were, say, doing a whole struggle?
Drink less, train hard.
Drink less.
Perfect, man. Aye.
Drink's the big problem. I'm not saying, like I was saying to you before, first lockdown, the fancy cans, the cool looking cans in Aldi and that. I thought, I'll try that. So before I count, my basket had about 15 different ones in it, and that's per day. So I'm trying all these tins and I'm going, shite, tastes like shite, no. And then by the time you go full circle and get round to the back, you go, that actually tastes better than that one, it tastes better than that one. So then you start getting new ones, and then you see new ones in Tesco and that stuff. And I got caught up drinking all these fancy ales, thinking I was fucking cool because the can was cool, eh? Like Insta drinking. You take pictures of your cool can on Instagram and that. And then you get to a point, you're 6 months in, and you go and look at your, in our extension at the back, I've got like it was a delivery box, I've got hoodies, big giant thick deep box, full of bottles and tins. It gets to a point, you see that and you go, that's only for last week.
It's an accomplishment in itself, though. It's a wee bit out, like, oh my fucking...
Aye, but that's weekly. That's not a month stuff, that's weekly. So I got to a point and I just like, and it was weight going on, you didn't realise the calorie count in beer. And that was a big shake up for me just the turn of the year there. So I just think everybody that knew is drinking too much now. I'm not anybody to say didn't drink, but it's too easy now, and that's the fucking problem. And the calorie count in booze is ridiculous, because in the knock-on effect of that is you munch a bag of Chris watching the telly in a box set or whatever. Then you wake up at hangover and think, calzone will sort me out.
Aye.
And then with that calzone, I've got 2 beers left in the fridge. Then you have the one beer, and before you can, you run to shop at 10 to 10 before the shop shuts to get more, and that's the knock-on effect of drinking, and that's what happened the first lockdown for me. So I'd probably say the best thing is like getting into a routine where you're at least in some most days, can even walks. It's enough, but find a sport or find an activity that you like and do it as much as possible, because it really does help you. 100% really does help you in every aspect. I mean, for me, clarity in my thinking is, I mean, I'm getting my creative juices are flowing over like the business and with the gym and that, and I'm like, we could put that there and get that there. Okay, what? Fuck it, let's get another gym. Do you know what I mean? Like, it makes you think. Again with this clothing brand, all my merch for the gym, it flies off the shelves, and I thought, fuck it, why not beat the middleman and go straight to the supplier? Get more of the stuff, and then let's get some new designs. We've got tattooists in the gym who have helped out with designs. So I mean, I think just clarity and good habits, it really does help.
Fucking phenomenal, man.
What about yourself, Scotty?
No, just finish up. Like, obviously Stevie said that he's biased with the gym, and I am not biased. Like, I've been to loads of different fucking gyms, and I genuinely can't recommend it enough for folk listening. When it does open back up again, try one class and you'll fucking fall in love with it. And the hardest bit will be that first class and getting in that first time.
Walking in the door.
Aye, but as soon as you walk in the door, obviously you've been listening to Stevie for an hour and a half now.
Sleep on shite.
No, a fucking great guy. Makes everybody feel welcome at the gym, and all the folk that are there, you get the same sort of vibe from. So, it's not been a pod, like as we said before, it's not been a podcast where we're listening to somebody who's struggled. If anything, it's been the exact opposite, where it's more inspiring, which is what we wanted to do with it as well. And I'm away to quit my job and fucking
sign on.
That's it. That's it, mate. That's it. I'm going to quit my job. That's it. I'm done. I'm done. Aye.
You doing?
No.
Yeah, I do it.
I'm genuinely. I'm going to find somebody else. That's it. I'm fucking.
You can be like a live janitor.
I'm dead. Aye.
£4 an hour.
Aye, I'm done. Fuck it.
Okay, that's an exclusive.
That's an exclusive. I'm quitting my job. I'll be doing much more of this.
You can if this comes next week and you're starting the same job, folk are going to think he is a pussy.
Aye, he's a pussy.
What's the saying? Shite bag if you did it.
Aye. I'll hear a new job by. What day is it?
I've already gave you a new job.
You had to be.
I'll get you a new motor.
April Fools.
Missed a track.
Oh fuck, aye. Aye, 1st of July.
It's April Fools. I'm actually Vin Diesel.
With a beard.
Aye, right, that's been fucking phenomenal.
Aye, thanks very much.
Aye, cheers, appreciate it, mate.
It's been a pleasure.
Anytime.
I will probably get you back on in the future.
Oh, of course, mate, aye. Again, like I say, I can't have what I say is no gospel, but I've seen a lot of guys struggling through the years in the gym. So I'm not experienced any of their problems, but I can definitely vouch for what I've seen. Like there's a lot of shit going on there, and best thing guys can do is try and stay motivated, get rid of bad habits and toxic people, and do something positive. At least an hour a day.
Aye.
Definitely.
Focus on themselves. But I'll tag your gym pages.
Appreciate that, bud.
Is there a separate apparel page? There is, eh?
Aye.
We'll tag it as well.
Instagram, just Instagram for the apparel thing, but
aye, we'll tag it as well.
Aye.
100%. So thanks for listening.
Aye.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers. Thank you.